welcome back to my playthrough of Star Trek Expeditions. We are beginning turn 1, and that means that Captain Kirk, here he is with his phaser out, he's all ready to take out some hostile Klingon or aggressor, or romance some lady, of course. That's what he's good at. Alright, so what can we do on a turn? I should mention a couple of things first. There are 3 levels of difficulty in the game, 3 different challenge levels. There is a blue level, there is a gold level, and there is a red level. I will be playing on the medium difficulty level, the gold level, which I believe is Starship Captain level. Or they have some name for it, I can't remember what it is. So we'll see as soon as I flip the card over, it will become apparent what that means. And I'm just going to go over quickly the things that characters can do on their turn, all of the different actions. One is they can visit sick bay. They roll one of the white Federation dice and heal that many clicks. They can order the Enterprise to attack, but then of course the Klingons will get a counterattack. They can beam down to the planet. If they're on the ship, they can beam up from the planet to the ship. They can only beam once on their turn, so they can't beam down to the planet, do some stuff, and beam back up. There's only one beam action allowed per player turn. While they're on the planet, they can move one adjacent space. They can make a discovery, which means they collect one of the tokens that's on a space. They can do their special character action, which is listed on their card. They can draw one energy card as an action. They can transfer one crew member. If they're in the same location as an action, they can have one of the crew member cards they have go to another character's card. Kirk has a special action ability, which means he doesn't have to be in the same space. He can either take a crew member from somebody or give a crew member to somebody without being in the same location. And they can attempt one challenge, and challenges are on the underside of these oversized cards. So those are all the things the characters can do, and you'll see them in action as we go. So the first thing Captain Kirk does, if we look at the turn order here, the first thing you do is you flip the Stardate card. So that's step number 1. And we're just going to flip over the first card, and now, which are the Stardate cards, like I said, there are 14, and when they run out, you reshuffle and do them again. And I said there were 3 different difficulty levels. There's red, gold, and blue. If you're playing the red level, which is the hardest difficulty, you do everything that happens in all 3 boxes. If you do the gold level, you do whatever happens in the gold box and the blue box. If you're doing the blue level, then you just do the blue box. So you can see there's nothing in gold and red this turn. However, the very first thing we see is the Klingon battle cruiser attacks. And this other number up in the corner here, that is how many actions the player character gets on their turn. So the Klingon battle cruiser is going to attack, and then Captain Kirk is going to have 4 actions for his turn. Okay, so how do we have the Klingon battle cruiser attack? Well, the first thing the battle cruiser does is it moves one space closer to the Enterprise. So it's going to move from space 7 to space 6. So it's closing in on the Enterprise, and now it will fire its long-range weapons. And its long-range weapon ability, I believe, what do we have here for a number? It's very high. It is a 6. So it is going to be at that space. It is going to roll the Klingon die. It is going to fire at the Enterprise. So aggression right off the bat from the Klingons. It rolls a 5. 6 plus 5 is 11. This does not bode well for the Enterprise. The Enterprise shields are a measly 9. So 11 is higher than 9. The Enterprise then takes 1 click of damage, unless we have some way to stop that from happening. And Kirk could play his Starfleet training to have that dice re-rolled for the Klingons, but we'll just take the hit. And now the Enterprise gets to fire back, so I should have just kept that here. We will now look at the Enterprise long-range weapons is a 7, and the Klingon shields are very tough. They're 13. So, let's see what we get for the Federation roll, and it's a 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. There's nothing to add +1 to the weapons, so the Klingon shields absorb the hit. So that is the battle cruiser attacks part of the Stardate card. And now we go on to Kirk now has 4 actions he can perform. And I think the first action he's going to do is he is going to beam down to the planet, and he's going to beam down way down here onto this space because there's a Klingon scrambling pad here that I'd like him to collect. It allows the Enterprise to attach this permanently to the Enterprise. It gives them a +1 shields. But the first thing we do when we get to the location, of course, before picking that up, is we will look at the Captain's Log supplemental card. And this is, okay, this is the Rebels card. So what we do with this is we put this off to the side. And as I showed you in the first video, we take the very thick, very sturdy cardboard Captain's Log Rebels 1, and we look at this. So there is a motorcade ambush. Now, of course, what I forgot to mention, there's going to be a bit of a spoiler in this game because once you go through these cards once, of course, you're going to know what they are for the next game. So if you really want to play this game and have no idea what's going on, of course, you don't want to watch this playthrough because this will spoil things. But if you want to have a good idea of how the game plays, and there is replayability. I mean, you try and get a better score each time, so there is that. And there's the 16 different mission cards that come up that can be swapped in and out, so you're not really sure which ones you're going to get. However, this is the Rebels one. So there's a motorcade ambush. A government motorcade is ambushed by rebels who wound many of the senators and their staff members. So we have to try to save as many of the wounded as we can. So this is a science challenge. You need a 21 total number, and it's medical. So I think McCoy would be a good one to be come down here and handle this. And it says here there's by turn 7 this should be completed, and you'll see there are 2 different scenarios. If you complete it, if you get a 21 or higher on or before day 7 on the day tracker, then you will get this reward. If you get 21 plus after day 7, you'll get the lesser award. And if you do the best, you'll be moving to 2A, and if you go after 7 days, you'll be going to 2B. So we're going to leave that down here. Kirk now has exposed or has run into a motorcade ambush. That is his first action, beaming down. His second action, he will indeed grab the Klingon scrambling pad that is down there and try and get that back to the Enterprise at some point in time, so that can add shields to the Enterprise whenever the Klingon cruiser attacks. So he's not going to try and do this mission because he is not the greatest when it comes to the sciences. He only has a 7 on his click. So I think he's going to move to another location. And he will move over to the one right above here with the Klingon evidence. That will be his third action, 1 to beam down, 1 to pick up the Klingon scrambling pad. And now his third action will be revealing this card. So now we have Nibian leprosy. So this is one of the random cards that we select. You contract a contagious disease. Isolate the disease until a cure can be found. Well, this looks like another job for McCoy. You might have to come down here first and help Kirk out. It says you may not leave this space until successfully completed. At the end of each of your turns, lose 2 clicks. Wow, okay. So if we need to get a 24 plus, you get extra bonus stuff. It says the treatment cures a disease and rejuvenates you. All characters in this location are healed to their starting clicks. So, not so great. Kirk cannot move out of this location now until he either passes this medical challenge, or I think Bones will have to come down and help him out. However, he has 1 more action left. I think he's just going to leave the Klingon evidence there, and he's going to grab an Energize card. And he grabs Leadership card, and it says +2 to any 1 challenge or die roll. So you can just add +2 to any roll. That would be even the Enterprise firing back, or when he's trying to complete one of the missions. All right, well, there you have. That is basically turn 1 over. We're playing on gold level. Kirk has managed to contract Nibian leprosy. He is now, of course, it's the end of his turn. He is going to have to suffer 2 clicks of damage, so 1, 2. He gets, and his stats drop a little bit, as you can see, when he suffers damage. So that's not great. He's going to continue to suffer damage here at the end of his turn if he does not complete this mission. However, we'll probably be completing this mission once Bones can get down there and help him. Okay, that was turn 1. That was Captain Kirk. He's alerted McCoy to the motorcade ambush, but he's also concerned a little bit for himself now that he's got this disease that needs curing. So Bones has got his work cut out for him when it becomes his turn. All right, next turn will be turn 2, and we will be having Mr. Spock going. Basically, in the game, Kirk goes first if you're playing with Kirk, and if Kirk's not one of your chosen ones, then Spock goes. If Spock's not there, then McCoy goes. But after you decide who the first player is going to be, based on that hierarchy, the other ones are randomly decided. And I randomly rolled some dice, and Spock will be going next. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. This has been turn 1 of Star Trek Expeditions. Join me next time for Mr. Spock's turn, which will be turn 2. Thanks for watching.